Texas dust, and the trucks roll by like things you used to trust. The sky is turning purple, the crows are taking flight, and I'm just another shadow breaking into the night, with a pocket full of nothing and a memory too bright. She had eyes like April water, clear and running deep, but the promises we whispered were ones we couldn't keep. The wind don't ask no questions, it just tears across the plain, and it don't care about the sorrow, and it don't feel the pain of a man who traded true love for the pouring of the rain. So roll on, you white lines, take me where you will, past the broken down old fences and the ghost upon the hill. The cards are on the table, the gambler's gone to sleep, and there ain't no use in crying for the tracks we couldn't keep. Just let the wind blow till the canyon's buried deep. Tavern lights are fading and the rearview mirrors glow. There's a cold and heavy winter coming down from Idaho. I've been dynamic, I've been foolish, I've been looking for a sign, but the only thing I'm finding is this crooked heart of mine, and a bottle that is empty on the borderline. So roll on, your white lines, take me where you will, past the broken down old fences and the ghost upon the hill. The cards are on the table, the gambler's gone to sleep, and there ain't no use in crying for the tracks we couldn't keep. Just let the wind blow till the canyon's buried deep. Let the wind blow, it's the only friend that stays. Diego rode a buckskin horse through the canyons of the West. He kept a silver pocket watch hidden in his vest. The Federales wanted him for the gold he stole in June, but Diego only ran beneath the shadow of the moon. He laughed and said the desert air was his only saving grace. Mateo was a quiet man, he never spoke too loud. He followed Diego's wild tracks like a shadow in a crowd. But the winter nights in Santa Fe get colder than a stone, and a man can get so weary when he's hiding all alone. The lawman offered silver, and Mateo closed his eyes. And the wind still screams for Diego out in the canyon deep, where the cactus hooks are sharp and the river runs to sleep. But Mateo's in a warm bed now, counting up his cost, staring at the ceiling, thinking about the brother that he lost. They found Diego by the well, his pistol in the sand. The silver watch was ticking right inside his frozen hand. Now Mateo lives in Boston, wearing suits of fancy gray, drinking expensive whiskey just to wash the dust away. But nobody writes a ballad for the man who stayed alive. And the wind still screams for Diego out in the canyon deep, where the cactus hooks are sharp and the river runs to sleep. But Mateo's in a warm bed now, counting up his cost, staring at the ceiling, thinking about the brother that he lost. The desert never forgets, and the dust never settles. Your mama stitched your denim coat and told you to be brave. She knew the road you chose would lead either to a crown or to a grave. You left the hills of Utah with a deck of greasy cars and and a young man's foolish dream that the world wasn't so hard. Now you're just a name they whisper when the lanterns start to die. They say you outran the sheriffs down in Reno's flashing light. You vanished like a phantom in the middle of the night. Some swear you crossed the border with a lady dressed in red. Some say you're in the mountains with a bullet in your head. But the highway doesn't care about the rumors or the lies. Oh, the road is long and lonesome when you're trading in your soul for the freedom of the wind and a sky you can't control. Your mama's by the fireplace, she's praying for your sins, while you're just a ghost where the Reno sky begins. The poets in the barrooms will make your story grand. They'll say you were a hero with a lightning fast right hand. But they don't see the winter freezing up your boots tonight, or the way you miss your home beneath the early morning light. When the whiskey loses power and the dream begins to fade. Oh, the road is long and lonesome when you're trading in your soul for the freedom of the wind and a sky you can't control. Your mama's by the fireplace, she's praying for your sins, while you're just a ghost where the Reno sky begins. Just a ghost where the sky begins. The fire went out an hour ago. The floor is covered in the dust and snow. There ain't no warmth inside this skin, just a shallow grave where the wind crawls in. Yeah, the wind crawls in. Don't bring no lantern to my door. I don't wanna see the light no more. The light just shows what's already lost, the broken glass and the heavy frost, the heavy frost. And there ain't no mercy in the sky, and there ain't no just the hollow, hollow ground where the shadows roll without a sound. Nothing up above, nothing down below. Mother told me I'd be a man, but the sand just slipped right through my hand. I built a house out of broken bone, and now I'm sitting here all alone, completely all alone. And there ain't no mercy in the sky, and there ain't no tears left in my eye. It's just the hollow, hollow ground where the shadows roll without a sound. Nothing up above, nothing down below. Nothing down below, just the dust. The black river crawls behind my shack. It takes the dirt and it don't bring it back. I watched a leaf float down the stream, just like the ghost of my latest dream. My latest dream. The clock on the wall don't make a sound. The gears are rusted, the springs are wound. Too tight to move, too old to care. Like the heavy gray that's in my hair. That's in my hair. So don't you pray for my wicked soul. The well is dry and the coal is cold. There ain't no medicine for the stone when a man is born to rot alone. Yeah, the river's deep and the water's black. Preacher came, but he couldn't stay. He took one look and he walked away. He saw the shadow behind my eyes that don't believe in lies, no more sweet lies. So don't you pray for my wicked soul. The well is dry and the coal is cold. There ain't no medicine for the stone when a man is born to rot alone. Yeah, the river's deep and the water's black. The water's black. Let it pull me down. My daddy was a gambler with a cold iron fist. He left my poor mama with a bruise on her wrist. I ran from the cabin when I turned 17, looking for a country that I'd never seen, just running away from the pain. I met a sweet lady in the Oklahoma mud. She tried to wash out all the dirt in my blood, but the hunger was heavy and the money was low. I took to the highway where the cold winds blow, and I left her alone in the rain. And I'm just sitting here staring at the grease on the floor. I don't expect nothing from this world no more. The dust is my blanket, the bottle's my friend, just waiting around for the hurting to end. Yeah, waiting around for the end. Preacher man told me there's a land in the sky where nobody's hungry and nobody cries, but the whiskey is cheaper than a ticket to grace. And it's the only damn thing that can blur out this face. So I guess I'll just stay on the ground. And I'm just sitting here staring at the grease on the floor. I don't expect nothing from this world no more. The dust is my blanket, the bottle's my friend, just waiting around for the hurting to end. Yeah, waiting around for the end. Waiting for the end. The bottle's near done. I used to have brothers, I used to have gold, I used to have stories that shouldn't be told. But the gold went to whiskey and the brothers all died, and the only thing left is the shadow inside this dirty old coat that I wear. The train tracks are humming just outside my door. They carry the young men who are looking for more. But I've been to the east and I've been to the west, and the only thing waiting is a hole in your chest when you find out that nobody's there. And I'm just leaning my head on this cold gray wall, listening to the rain as it starts to fall. I ain't got no family, I ain't got no home, just a deck of old cards and a soul made of stone, and I'm waiting around to be gone. Write me no letters, don't knock on my gate. The hour is late and I'm resigned to my fate. The clock on the table is ticking so slow, and it's telling me things that I already know, that the darkness is coming on strong, and I'm leaning my head on this cold gray wall, listening to the rain as it starts to fall. I ain't got no family, I ain't got no home, just a deck of old cards and a soul made of stone, and I'm waiting around to be gone. Waiting around to be gone. Give me dust, give me rust, give me something I can trust. The sky is gray, the well is black. They took the shirt right off my back and told me not to breathe. The hammer falls upon the stone, the corporate crows are picking bone. I sold my sweat, I sold my time for 20 cents of silver dime and a suffocating sleep. So build your fires and burn your coal. You cannot choke a dynamic soul. The air is thin, the coffee's deep, but I got a promise I must keep before the morning comes to freeze my iron lungs, my shaking knees. To wash away the factory stain, but the water's thick with oil and greed, and that ain't what the broken need. We need the wind to blow. So build your fires and burn your coal. You cannot choke a dynamic soul. The air is thin, the coffee's deep, but I got a promise I must keep before the morning comes to freeze my iron lungs, my shaking knees. Just let me breathe before the freeze. The last train left a lifetime ago, leaving soot where the bitter winds blow. I sit on a bench at this old station floor, counting the cracks in the glass of the door. My mother said this highway was poisoned and mean, but I kept on walking through winters unseen. There once was a love, or something that felt near. It came in a bottle, then drowned in my fear. She walked out the door with the last of my smiles, leaving an empty glass and frozen miles. Now the night is too long for a broken down mind, under a black sky that the world left behind. Now there's only rust and dust to keep me company through the night. Nothing left for a thief to steal, just waiting for the sun to lose its light. I found a new friend in a deck of old cards. He don't ask no questions about all my scars. He takes all my money, he takes all my time, and leaves me with nothing but a half-written rhyme. The dealers, they smile as they watch me go weak, with the dust on my boots and the tears on my cheek. And I know that the morning won't bring nothing new, just the same old reflection of a man that I knew. I'd run from this shadow if I had the wheels, but I forgot how a real heartbeat feels. Now there's only rust and dust to keep me company through the night. Nothing left for a thief to steal, just waiting for the sun to lose its light. I once knew a fellow, his name it was loneliness. He only shows up when the world leaves the bench. He don't hold my hand, and he don't care to speak, but he knows every scar that has made my knees weak. So I pour the poison right into my cup, hoping the ghosts in my head will shut up. My old man moved on when the autumn turned cold, leaving a battered guitar and a story untold. I tried to sing out to chase monsters away, but the chords only call back the ghosts of yesterday. Now I close up my eyes, let the weariness take whatever is left of the promises I used to break. In this silent valley, I'm laying it down, watching the river turn red near the town. No words of regret, no tears left to cry, just a cold, quiet shadow to wave me goodbye. The prison walls hum with a low, heavy sound of men who got lost on their way to the town. I served my 5 years for a crime I forgot, in a cell where the summer sun makes your bones rot. Now I'm out on the gravel with nowhere to head, just a ghost among living or a man among dead. Oh, the road is a master that never gets tired. It burns up the youth that you once had admired. It leaves you with pockets as empty as air, and a mind that's too broken to even still care. In this silent valley, I'm laying it down, watching the river turn red near the town. No words of regret, no tears left to cry, just a cold, quiet shadow to wave me goodbye.
Silas kept his eyes upon the wire, searching for a spark to feed the fire. He lived his life 1 mile ahead of dawn, before the law could guess that he was gone. He had a young man's pride and a steady hand, the fastest shadow in this sun-baked land. And Crow was right beside him through the rain, sharing half the liquor and the pain. They drew their names in bullet holes and dust, in a world that didn't give a damn for trust. But Crow grew tired sleeping on the stone, dreamed of a bed he could call his own. Now the wind just whispers through the canyon floor, and nobody knocks on the old jail door. They turn the story into a grand design, but the truth is buried on the borderline. The Federales caught old Silas by surprise, with the morning sun blinding his weary eyes. They say a shadow pointed out the track and shot the warning right into his back. Now Silas sleeps beneath a nameless tree, while Crow is living somewhere safe and free. Oh, the silver sparkles when the night is new, but it turns to lead before the day is through. You can trade your brother for a peaceful sleep, but the ghost will watch the promises you keep. Now the wind just whispers through the canyon floor, and nobody knocks on the old jail door. They turn the story into a grand design, but the truth is buried on the borderline. I burned the bridge before I crossed the stream. I traded all my tomorrows for a broken dream. Left a good woman standing in the April rain, with nothing but a heavy pocket full of pain. I'm staring at the map with no place to go, just counting up the miles of the seeds I didn't sow. My brother told me, son, you better slow your roll. The highway's gonna swallow up your fragile soul. But I was young, foolish, thought I knew the way. Now I'm paying for the debts that I can never pay. The bottle on the table doesn't offer peace. It only stretches out the night and makes the shadows lease. Regret is just a ledger that you write in with your blood, a pile of jagged stones sitting in the mud. I'm the architect of every door I had to lock, watching time turn the water against the ticking of the clock. I passed by my old hometown just a week ago. The oak tree in the yard was covered in the snow. I saw a stranger's shadow through the kitchen pane, living out the life that I had thrown down the drain. I didn't tap the glass, I didn't make a sound. I just put my head down and left that haunted town. Oh, mercy was a river I would dive right in and let the heavy current wash away my sin. But the water is too shallow and the mud is too deep, and I'm left with the promises I failed to keep. Regret is just a ledger that you write in with your blood, a pile of jagged stones sitting in the mud. I'm the architect of every door I had to lock, watching time turn to water against the ticking of the clock.